Hello, Amelia. Welcome to Sacred Remembering.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Everyone, I'm here with Emilia Nagy, and we are just getting to know one another. I just saw you in social media circles relatively recently. You are a guide to help bring together sacred union on the planet, and I loved your energy, and I loved noticing that you talk about both sacred union and strong, powerful women, and you
Yeah.
want strong, powerful women to be in union. And so thank you so much for joining me here. And would you just give us an introduction to you and your work and how you serve and anything you want to say here at the beginning?
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Well, I say that I help sensitive, smart, spiritual women date for divine union, headed to marriage. And usually my clients are, I call them luminaries, light workers, coaches, entrepreneurs, visionaries, creatrixes, witches, bitches. So we have
Yes.
that. We have that. And those are the women that
Yeah.
resonate with this work. And it's crazy, like you were introducing me and saying it, and I was like, I do, that's me.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Oh, I'm really
Right.
doing it. I'm really
You're
doing it, Sarah.
doing it. And like, okay, so this is me, right? Like and so you're talking to me and like, I'm ready for the sacred union. I've come through the sovereignty. I know all about sacred union. And it's like, now I have to start dating. And so, or actually I have started dating in the last
Oh.
week. I know it's like
Oh.
very new. It's very exciting. But, I so appreciate again, like this message of sovereign power
Hmm.
because I see that there's so much, I'm going to call it garbage, misleading light workers, luminaries, sacred remembering, sacred feminine
Hmm.
women who are truly reclaiming all of this like sacred feminine energy and gnosis and wisdom, and then still getting lost and tripped up around teachings about like submission and these ideas that women are supposed to kind of act a certain way in order to be like receiving a man. And I'm just like, hogwash. No, like we get to be strong, be amazing, be in our full power of all that we've reclaimed and remembered. Why would we lay that down when being in relationship with a man? Like it literally makes no sense. We need the pathway into union and partnership, sacrificing nothing.
Yes, ma'am. That's absolutely right. But why do we lay it down? I'll tell you why. Because that's what we're modeled. That's
Yeah.
what we're told. We're heading into a new paradigm now. We're creating new earth. New earth is based on sacred unions and sacred communities, right? That's a whole other
Yes.
paradigm. Nobody did that. Nobody taught us. We don't know. We're the ones creating it. We're the ones we've been praying for. So that's why.
Yes. Are there actual church bells going off behind you?
Yes. We have this really cool, like, red brick church, and I see it. And yes, the church bells are going off. So
Yes.
we can have a sacred service, which is what we're
Yeah.
doing anyway.
Feeling it and feeling it.
They'll be quiet in a bit, but they'll go for a little bit. They'll go for a few
I
minutes.
I don't care. Like, I love it. I love that you're talking about the new earth and sacred union and that
Yeah.
this is the time and there are bells
Yes.
happening. Like,
Yeah.
yes. All right. I love your energy. I just want to say that. I love
Oh,
it.
thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
All right. So, can we maybe dive into some how to? And if that's not the direction you want to go, just
all of it.
tell
Just
me.
bring it,
And then,
girl.
yeah.
All of
Okay.
it. Let's go.
All right. So I picked up from your emails. So I
Yeah.
recommend that everyone sign up for your emails. They're so juicy and your videos, like you're so loving. Like you're just
Oh,
giving and
thanks.
you're giving these like meditations and transmissions. Like you just want us to have union. And I feel that.
Yeah.
I do too. Like I'm like, hello, this is what I started this path for. Like there's been a bumpy ride. Like let's get there, you know?
Yes.
So I gleaned that you have a formula. And that like there are 3 criteria that we need to be looking for in men when we're dating. And it's like, weed
Yeah.
it out. Like, this is it. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I want to talk about it because this is such a big problem. Light workers, spiritual women, conscious women, they don't know what to look for. Because
Right.
what we do, most of us, and I did this too, and the only reason, and I always say this because I just love saying it, but the only reason why I'm a master, Sarah, is because I was such a disaster. I mean, I was
Yeah,
such a disaster.
totally.
Like, I
Yeah.
dated internationally for years and years and years. I came from a dysfunctional family with narcissistic traits. I recreated those patterns over and over and over. I was like,
Yeah.
what am I doing? Why isn't it working? I went to therapy. The therapists were like, oh, well, your parents should have never had kids. I was like, okay, but what do I do now? How do I
Right.
date? How do I
Help.
pick the right man? How do I not repeat the cycle? Right. And many of my
Yeah.
clients are breaking the generational cycles that, like what you just
Yes.
talked about at the beginning. Right. And so it's so like, this is silly because it's so practical. It's like one of those things that's like, if I tell you, you're going to be like, it can't be that easy, but it is. And it's so
I
simple
love it.
because really, and I'll explain why if you want to ask me. I mean, I could talk forever, so just guide me because I'll just blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah.
But
Me too. Yeah. You
the
go for
three
it.
things. Okay, good. Masculine, because if he's not masculine, there will be no energy flow. There will be no eros, right? If
Right.
we're feminine being, and I'm speaking to feminine beings, that's who I work with. It's
Yeah.
feminine women,
Yes.
feminine people, right? And so first is masculine. Like if he's not masculine, nothing else will work. It doesn't matter if he has the same interests as you. It doesn't matter if you guys speak the same foreign languages. It doesn't matter if you have the same hobbies. It does not matter. If he's not
Yes.
a masculine being, it will not work. It will not work. So that actually, I mean, over and over and over, I see women with they just didn't know. They didn't know how to pick a masculine being. And they either
Yeah.
picked an effeminate being or they picked and this brings me to number 2, an unhealthy masculine being. So he
Yeah.
has to be a masculine being, but he has to be a healthy masculine being. Not perfect. That's another thing that happens is in the polarity space, there's sort of like this aggrandizement of like the divine masculine and the
Yes.
healthy masculine man and a dominant masculine man. And it's like, he's a healthy masculine man is not perfect. He's not God. He doesn't go on a pedestal. He's a
No.
human being. But yes, if you want to have a healthy relationship that lasts, that's fulfilling, then you need to pick a masculine man, a healthy masculine man. Okay, so those 2 things, women don't know how to do this. I didn't know
Yeah.
how to do this. So
Right.
right. I mean, it's almost like too simple to say it because it's like, really? Yeah, really. So, because I always say, if he's not a masculine man, he's not your man. It doesn't matter. If he's not
Right.
a healthy masculine man, he's not your man. It doesn't matter. The third thing is ready for a relationship. Not
Yeah.
all men want or are ready for a relationship. Maybe he just got divorced. Maybe he's really focused on his career. Maybe he's raising the teenage kids and he has absolutely no time in his life, right? So he
Right.
has to be a man who is a healthy masculine man who wants a relationship. And you have to know how to pick that guy. And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, just that little bit right there saves 95% of problems.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm happy to go into any of those 3 categories. Let's do that a minute. Like, okay, masculine. We you took the words out of my mouth when you said like, we start to think about what's sacred feminine, what's sacred masculine, and then we start to project this idea of sacred masculine onto
Yeah.
men. And what I'm always saying on this podcast is like, I am not the complete embodiment of the archetype of the sacred feminine without flaw. So why would I
Mm-hmm.
put that on a man? Right. But I think we do this on this quest, on this journey. Like, and I think we also want like the man who proves what the other men couldn't do or prove, right? So we're like looking for that more actualized version of masculinity. And then we get these pieces of information, like you said, in the polarity space. It's like, well, the man is supposed to act exactly like this. And, so what is masculine? It sounds like such a
Yeah.
like basic question, like you said, almost like too
Right?
basic, but then it's like, no, really, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that when we're looking for that? What are we looking for?
Yeah. Well, it's like a healthy masculine energy. We all have that, right? We all have masculine and feminine. So the healthy
Yeah.
masculine energy, it's the energy that generates. It's the energy that moves forward. It's the energy that, right? Like form follows function. There's an organ that does that too, right? And so that is the masculine generating, moving forward, creating. Some people call it leading. You could call it that. It is a kind of leading, but it doesn't always
Mm.
look like what we think leadership is. So it's
Yeah.
sometimes a very subtle, quiet leadership, right?
Yeah.
But it is a forward moving energy. So I always, the way I coach when my women are dating is, if the man is generating, right? If he's generating a connection, if he sent a message, if he sent a text, I
Mm.
know it sounds so simple. If he sent a message, if he sent a text, he's generating.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, so, and then I have tendencies of reactive attachment sometimes, like from those really old days as a young child, and all the things that happened, right? So then he's generating, and I'm like, is he generating too much? Is he trying to take something? And then I have to like,
Yes.
where am I coming from in
And
how
that's
I'm
the sovereign
responding,
feminine,
right?
right? Because the
Yeah,
sovereign feminine is like, well, I can say yes, I can say no. And that's another thing
right.
we teach, right? Well, I can say no to the things I'm a no to, and I can say yes to the things I'm a yes to, and I can say no thank you, and I can say yes please, and I can say more please, and I can say that was enough of that, thank you, right? Like that's the sacred
Yes.
feminine. I because my degree's in
Yeah.
biochem, I always
Oh,
give this example of the semi-permeable cell membrane. That's like,
yeah.
it's in the middle of the blood, and the blood has all the nutrients and the salts and the potassium and all the vitamins that the cell needs. But the cell doesn't just willy nilly let everything in and
No.
out. It takes in what
Right.
it needs and it releases what it doesn't need. So that's the sacred feminine. She's not submissive. She's not,
No.
floppy or like whatever.
Yeah.
She knows exactly what she needs, and she stands for that, right? We live in a culture that doesn't teach us that doesn't model that. We're changing that. Podcasts like this, your work, my work, women are changing that. We are getting together in sisterhood and
Yeah.
changing that. We're doing that, right? And this is part of that. But that's what happens is like those wounds come in, right? And for that moment, we forget, oh, yeah, but I can say no.
Right. Or like I can name. I can name. So I'm going to give an example because this is week 1 of dating in Sarah land. And, we're like, okay, so now second date is coming up. And, he's asked if he could pick me up. Now that's beautiful. And I'm not ready for that.
Good. That's healthy.
So,
Don't be ready
right.
for that yet.
No. And I was like, I will meet you in this location, and then I will get in your car. And, and then I said something like, thank you for understanding. This is like, I'm just opening to this idea of relationship. And he came back with like, Sarah, it makes total sense. We've been on one date. I'm really enjoying this connection, but we both like remain discerning. And as soon as he said that, my whole system was like, and I actually like my breath opened, my body opened. And then so that's if I go in accordance with what my breath and my body are doing, I'll be good. Like, not overriding that, right? Because that's what I did. Because of all these, like, oh, this is happening at this time. I made magic out of things that were not magical. I thought God was sending men that like were hard lessons. It was like making decisions in a bad way, which I want to talk about in a moment. But because I let those things in and overrode my own system along the way, things went to shit. It hurt. It got worse, right? And then there was more to recover from. So anyway, that's a couple of things. But yeah, when I work with, and I work with couples, but I'm not a couples coach telling them how to be in relationship, but I'm like this breath body. I can find, um, I'm like a systems analyst and a relational systems analyst. Whatever the system is, I can see where the energy is flowing and where it's not flowing. And so when I work with couples, I identify that part where the relationship is not working, and then I do somatic coaching around those topics to open the system back up. So
Cool.
I shared a lot at once there, but yeah.
Well, I
So the
always say it's
somatics is
about the
always like,
energy flow.
yes.
You know, like when people come to me about financial issues, or it always shows, if the energy is not flowing, first place you'll see it isn't the sex, and the second place it comes out is the finances. So anytime
Mm.
those things are wonky or there's like arguments in those areas, the energy is not flowing. And there's a sacred energy flow. The masculine generates, the feminine receives and reciprocates. Reciprocates means she sends it back, right? And then with that reciprocation is an invitation for his generation, right? And so that's the infinity energy flow. So that's the sacred union. That's how we create that. And our part in that is the receptivity and the reciprocation, right? So absolutely the energy flow.
Yeah. Can you talk more about that in terms of finances? I would love to hear.
Well, I mean, that's very broad, but basically, if that energy is in any way stuck, so for example, if the man is generating and the woman isn't receiving, and or she is receiving but she isn't reciprocating, and it's key here, it's not compensating, it's not equal. It just means he
Right.
buys you dinner, you bake him cookies. He takes you on a holiday, you buy the drinks one night, right? Like it's not about compensation, it's not about equality. I hate equality. I don't think equality has anything to do with sacred union because it's I talk about
No.
compliments, right? Like we're
Yeah.
compliments, right? So there's
Yeah.
equality is like it's beneath us. Like we already know we're equal. We're not fighting that war.
Right.
Now we're working at compatibility and synergy and co-creation, right? And so that
Yeah.
sacred energy flow is how it starts. That sacred energy flow nourishes the feminine, it nourishes the masculine, and then they're both able to synergize into a co-creation of whatever it is that they're up to in life, whatever it is they want to
Okay.
do.
This is huge. So many of us, so many women have like, we really want to receive and we have a block around
Yeah.
receiving, right? So
Well,
talk to us
receiving
about
is vulnerable as fuck.
very vulnerable, very vulnerable, like receiving from men, receiving from life, very
Yeah.
vulnerable. Yeah. So so when you're making this infinity sign, and this is, so we're recording video and audio, but if you're listening to the audio, like the hand is coming around like a figure eight, like the receiving, right? And then the reciprocating and the amplification. So take us into that a little bit more in terms of like that receiving pathway and what we've got to practice there. And then what does, you just mentioned some like practicalities about that reciprocation, but like for a woman who, I mean, I've lived a long time of like, let me see, are we still recording?